Long ago, in the kingdom of Lyria, there lived a curious young princess named Saraphina. Unlike other princesses who loved gowns and jewels, Saraphina spent her nights gazing at the stars. She often wondered, do stars keep secrets? One chilly night, while looking through her golden telescope from the castle tower, Saraphina noticed something strange. A single star was twinkling brighter than all the rest, and it seemed to be moving. The star shot across the sky, leaving a silver trail, and then it fell into the dark wood forest. Filled with wonder, Saraphina knew she had to find it. She wrapped herself in her cloak, sneaked past the guards, and rode her white horse Lumos into the forest. The forest was mysterious, with glowing mushrooms and whispering trees. Strange shadows followed her, and she could hear a soft humming, like the sound of magic. At last, Saraphina found the star. It wasn't just a star, but a glowing crystal orb that floated above a stone pedestal. As she reached out, a voice echoed, "Only the pure of heart may awaken my power." Saraphina gently touched it, and suddenly the orb burst into light, transforming into a tiny star spirit with shimmering wings. The spirit introduced itself as Asterion, guardian of the skies. Long ago, an evil sorcerer tried to steal his light to plunge the world into eternal darkness. To protect himself, Asterion fell to earth and hid. But now the sorcerer had returned. If he captured Asterion, he would control the night sky forever. "Princess," Asterion whispered, "only your courage can help me return to the heavens." Suddenly, dark smoke curled through the trees. From it emerged the sorcerer Malvorn, with glowing red eyes and a staff made of obsidian. "Give me the star, girl," he thundered. Saraphina stood tall. "I will never let you take the light from the world." A battle began. Malvorn cast shadows that slithered like snakes, but Saraphina remembered her mother's words, "A true princess shines brightest in the darkest hour." She lifted the star spirit high, and together they released a blast of pure starlight, scattering the shadows and breaking Malvorn's staff into dust. The sorcerer vanished, defeated. The forest lit up with thousands of tiny fireflies, as if celebrating. Asterion thanked Saraphina and rose back into the sky, becoming a radiant new star. Whenever you look up, I will be there guarding the night. And you, Princess Saraphina, will forever be known as the Keeper of the Star." That night, the people of Lyria saw a new star shining brighter than any other, and they told stories of their brave princess who saved the sky. And from then on, Seraphina never just looked at the stars. She knew their secrets. True courage isn't about strength, it's about protecting the light, even when the darkness tries to take it away.
Lena loved to paint more than anything else. Every swirl of her brush brought her drawings to life, mountains of candy, bright kites soaring in the wind, even a doll that danced when you clapped. All of them popped right out of the page, real and dazzling. But one dreary, rainy afternoon, boredom began to creep in. She had already read her favourite books twice, stacked her block towers higher than ever, and filled pages with pictures. Still, she found herself staring out the window with a heavy sigh. That's when something shiny rolled from under her bed. It was an old paintbrush, its golden bristles shimmering like sunlight on water, and its wooden handle dotted with flecks that looked like tiny stars. Lena didn't remember ever owning such a thing, but her curiosity was too strong to ignore. She dipped the brush into her paints and drew a small red ball. To her amazement, the ball leapt off the page, perfectly round and bouncing, scattering golden dust in the air. Lena gasped it was magic. Her heart raced. She quickly locked her door, eager to create more wonders in secret. She painted piles of sweets, a soaring kite. Everything appeared instantly, real and perfect. Just then, her little brother Tommy knocked. "Lena, want to play?" he called. Lena, still buzzing with excitement, said quickly, "I'm busy," hiding the brush under her pillow as Tommy stepped in. He didn't seem bothered. Holding out a half-eaten cookie, he grinned. "I saved the last piece for you." Lena hesitated, her fingers twitching, but she didn't take it. Tommy simply shrugged and left. That night, Lena decided to paint herself a puppy. But as soon as she touched the paper, nothing happened. The bristles, once golden, had turned dull and grey. She tried a bicycle, then a rainbow, still nothing. "Why won't you work?" she murmured, her voice heavy with regret. "Maybe I should have shared you." The next day, she watched Tommy from the window. He was laughing with the neighbour kids, offering them his toys, even helping one fix a broken shoelace. Something in Lena's chest tightened, not with jealousy, but with understanding. She went to his room, hiding the brush behind her back. "Tommy," she began softly, "I have something amazing, and I want you to help me use it." His eyes widened. "Really? Can I try too?" "Of course," she smiled. Outside, beneath the old willow tree, they found a wide patch of open ground. Lena painted a giant slide and Tommy painted swings. She drew a merry-go-round and he added a shiny trampoline. With every stroke, the brush's glow returned, brighter and warmer until it blazed like the afternoon sun. Soon, children from all over the village ran to play on the magical playground. Laughter rang in the air and Lena's heart swelled. "See," Tommy said, watching the fun. "Things are better when you share." Lena giggled. "Way better." That night, she placed the glowing brush into a small box marked in big letters for sharing only. And from then on, every picture painted together shone with magic, not just from the brush, but from the joy they shared.
Once upon a time, in two faraway kingdoms, lived two kind-hearted princesses, Cinderella and Snow White. Though they had never met, Both were known for their gentle nature and their love for helping others. One bright morning, Cinderella was in her palace garden singing to the birds, when suddenly a little bluebird brought her a shiny golden leaf. On the leaf were magical words: "To the fairest hearts, a new adventure awaits. Follow the forest path to meet your true friend." Curious, Cinderella tied on her sparkling glass slippers and followed the enchanted bird. Meanwhile, Snow White was picking flowers in the meadow when a rabbit hopped to her, holding the same golden leaf. She smiled and followed the trail of butterflies that sparkled like tiny stars. At the heart of the forest, the two princesses met for the very first time. "Are you the one the forest wanted me to meet?" asked Snow White kindly. "Yes," said Cinderella with a curtsy. "I think we were meant to find each other." The princesses laughed and instantly became friends. But suddenly, a dark shadow swept through the trees. The wicked stepmother of Cinderella and the evil queen of Snow White had joined forces. They wanted to trap both princesses so they could rule the kingdoms alone. They cast a spell, locking the forest in darkness. Trees grew twisted, and animals trembled in fear. Yet Cinderella and Snow White held hands and said together, "Kindness and courage will break any spell." Cinderella called her animal friends, while Snow White sang her sweet song. The birds, squirrels, and even deer joined to fight back the magic. The forest began to glow with light again. Suddenly, Cinderella's glass slipper and Snow White's red apple shimmered with magic. When placed together, they formed a crystal rose that shone so brightly, the evil stepmother and queen disappeared into the shadows forever. The forest was saved, and the two princesses celebrated with their animal friends. From that day on, Cinderella and Snow White promised to visit each other often, ruling their kingdoms with kindness, bravery, and friendship. And so, they lived happily ever after together in light, laughter, and love.